So if Adam named all of the animals, what language did he use since he was the first human? I'm answering one of your questions. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm a deep skeptic, also a pastor. Quick wardrobe and location change, but there's two elements to this answer. The first one is the language, and the second one is about reading the Bible. But let's start with the language. Okay, so if you're taking like a literal reading of the Bible and trying to figure out about how long ago the Adam and Eve story was, it's like 5, 6, 7,000 years old. And it was written in biblical Hebrew, which is different than modern Hebrew significantly. And so you might hear somebody say that it was written in Hebrew, that he spoke in Hebrew, but that doesn't track because Hebrew's not that old. Scholars would say that Hebrew is about, 3,000 to 4,000 years old, not 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 years old. So it's not a good candidate. There is a good candidate that kind of gets close to that, and we don't have evidence of it in that exact region, but kind of close by. It's Sumerian, but it's probably not it either. The closest language that we have direct evidence of, it's even a younger language than Sumerian. It's called Akkadian. It was being spoken in that region a long, long time ago, just not long enough ago. But the real answer to your question is that this story was never meant to be taken literally. The people who originally wrote it and heard it didn't take it literally. This was about answering really big questions for humanity, like where did bad things come from? What is the purpose? Why was humanity created? What should we be about on the world? And for the people of Israel, right, it was about even more ultimate issues for them as a people. Those are the big messages that are being communicated by the story, not the exact way everything began. And you can tell this in a bunch of places. First off, the first couple of chapters of Genesis, there's two stories. The second story is the older story. And when you get into that second story, you find things like them being banished from the Garden of Eden, and there being another civilization that is there, that the children of Adam and Eve marry into. Just a number of things like that indicate that like the way modern fundamentalists read it is just not appropriate and not the way we need to think about it. In fact, that reading it brings up questions like this, which are really interesting questions, but those questions end up making us investigate things that aren't really the core meaning. So there's your answer.